We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Women Empowered Across the World podcast with Megan Diaz, coming to you from Cape Town, South Africa, along with the rest of my hosting team today, and a special guest, Christine Wirsing from the US. So I'm going to ask each of my hosts to quickly introduce themselves, tell us where they're coming from and what their core area of interest is, and then we will bring Christine onto center stage. Jackie, please will you go ahead?
Hi, I'm Jackie Zaccoli, and I'm located in Arizona, though I do a lot of work and play and bring resources to the underserved populations, mostly in Africa at this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Susan, please go ahead.
Hi, I'm Susan Lubo, and I'm known as the Art Poetress. I'm an artist and a writer.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Susan. Maria. Oh, you're on mute, Maria.
Sorry, I'm Maria from UK. Just set up an organization called Water for the World, which is bringing water to communities in Africa. And I'm also very interested in our guests today for the same things in common. Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maria. Chinray, for you?
Yay, and I'm Chinray Nodem Jack in Northern California. And I do a lot of work in Africa globally, but precisely right now in Nigeria, where I produce or provide clean water, sustainable farming, and also we have chicken farm, and then we do have sewing area for girls. Just believe in empowering women and girls for a better lifestyle. And then here in the U.S., I work with business owners, precisely women, under the Central Valley Black Chamber of Commerce, helping them to bring resources in marketing their business.
Thanks, Chinray. And myself, Megan Diaz from Cape Town, South Africa. I am passionate about working with and developing our youth and young minds. And I have a communications company called Paradox Docs Communications as well, which supports that space. And I'm looking forward to having a conversation with Christine Wirsing, our guest today. So, Christine, I'm going to welcome you on to the platform at this point, and also just give a shout out to Brenda, sitting in the background, who's going to be in on our session today. Brenda, it's good to have you with us, and I hope you enjoy the session with us. Christine, please. Go ahead, introduce yourself, and please share a bit more about your story with us.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Megan. I'm very honored to have the invitation to join all of you here today. It's truly a pleasure. And I am Christine Wirsing. I am a master health care coach, or I'm a master coach for healthcare professionals. And basically, I guide them through their burnout syndrome and help them reconnect with their soul and bring them from exhaustion to empowerment.
Yay.
Absolutely love that. Christine, you may go ahead. You can tell us anything you want us to know at this point in time. And please feel free to stop, pause, or just interact with us if you feel that's part of your narrative. But please go ahead. You've got about 10 or 15 minutes to be able to share with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would just like to start with a little bit of my background. I became a mental health therapist because I needed to become a therapeutic parent because of my daughter, who I call my hero. She is my inspiration, and I have the greatest admiration for her, watching her grow up to the age of 34 now. I adopted her from Romania. She was 2 weeks old. And we've really gone through this journey of her struggles, of trying to figure out how to live with her severe neurodivergent condition, how to navigate through all the things that children and teenagers and young adults and now a parent have to navigate through, but in a completely different way that typically needs to be played out by the general public and society. And so we're still learning how to become humans in our full aspect and what that means. So on my journey, I experienced a severe stroke and left me paralyzed completely on my left side of my body. And I spent a month in rehab, which involved me being at the care of healthcare professionals and completely in their hands. Totally. There was nothing I could do without their help. And so this was an experience of noticing a lot of different states of being. As a therapist at the time already, I was noticing this, and I am personally intuitive. So I was really able to notice a lot of the energy in the room. And as a therapist, I focused a lot on neuroscience. And my approach was very much involved with neuropsychotherapy. In fact, I was in the middle of becoming certified as a trauma-focused equine assistant psychotherapist, working with horses and dealing with trauma with clients. And it was amazing. So I was learning a lot about neurology at the time and had been and have always been fascinated with that. And after my stroke, I became more interested in energy and quantum physics and quantum mechanics. And as I began, I'm a life learner, so I began to just seek more and more knowledge and information. So much research out there that's been coming out about, especially from Dr. Joe Dispenza, combined with Greg Braden. Many people are probably familiar with their work, and it just fascinates me. And so I began to understand more about energy, vibration, and frequency. And as I transitioned into becoming a certified coach, so that I could continue working, because I told people I'm still alive and I'm still me. I could work online and I could do it worldwide, which would be a dream come true. And so I was able to proceed in this path and continue on my stroke recovery as well. And so now that it's 5 years down the road and I've accumulated so much more knowledge, experience, and know-how, and just amazing dreams that I never had before going through my coaching certification program, which, by the way, is the aliveness method. And I know many people are not familiar with this yet, but it is amazing. And it was such a perfect fit with my neurology background and my deep, passionate interest in the energy and vibration. So I just found it such a natural flow. And even today, I feel that I am more me than I ever was before my stroke. And I can say that I love me. And how many people can say that? I could never say that before. And I want to impart that, share that with as many people as possible. So I designed a mastermind live coaching program that I can actually work with at least 20 or maybe a few more people at once. And I can reach as many people as possible at a time. And my focus became more intensely on professional healthcare workers because of my increasing awareness of the burnout syndrome, especially with our nurses, who I consider our frontline warriors. And as a special needs mom and parents in general, we need our nurses out there. We need them healthy. And like I said, when I was in rehab, I noticed the different energies in the room. And over time, some of them would kind of hang out with me in my room, and even housekeeping would come and hang out with me in the room. And the energy was so pleasant. But when there were those who were struggling with burnout, it was very clear they were struggling, they were suffering, they had nothing to pour out, they had nothing to give. And I noticed that. And so now, as I realize the burnout syndrome being such a really epidemic levels in all kinds of healthcare professionals in this post-COVID environment, so many of us are fully recovered from that era. But the healthcare professionals have so much more trauma. They already had a lot going at the time. And then with this tsunami of the pandemic, it was quite a load. And we know that they were just so heroic for the longest period of time. And now here we are 5 years later, and the healthcare system is still broken, and they're still in there trying to navigate through all their struggles, their emotional struggles and stress of the burnout syndrome. So I want to contribute to their health and wellness as much as possible, because we need them out there. We need them healthy. We need them happy. And that's really my primary focus.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. Thank you, Christine. That was
Thank you very much.
definitely an interesting story to be listening to. And I must admit that I can relate so closely to a lot of what you said. My husband is also a stroke survivor, so we've been through some of the same that you've been through, and I absolutely admire you for just taking things in the direction you have since. So well done to you, and please keep doing what you're doing. And I'm going to open the floor for some questions. And please, may I just ask our hosts to just pop your information back into the chat for Christine to be able to pick up later. And Christine, if you can pop your information in there, it would help people to connect with you after the fact. And I know Brenda's fascinated with this conversation. I could see the ears peeking in the background. So the floor is open. Chinere is up, Bert. Please go ahead.
Well. Thank you so much for sharing your story. It is really amazing. And I think I think, what did they say? As a parent, right? We do not choose who our parents are, but then the journey becomes a family issue. But I think in your own case, you're not only a mother, but you're also a caregiver from your child to now yourself. But I think what is most fascinating about your work is thinking about our healthcare workers, right? Because a lot of them are pretty much burned out, especially post-COVID. And I'm thinking COVID is not gone, because I just had a friend that traveled, came back, and she's going through it right now. So we do need our healthcare workers to be healthy. It's not only about the money anymore. It's about taking care of ourselves too. My question to you is this, and I'm really, really grateful for your work. And then I think being a survivor and now using that instinct to help others. So as a coach, how do you set up a platform that people can not only embrace, but also model after, right?
Yes,
How,
I'm
how do you
so
do
glad
that?
you asked me that question. I actually have set up my home office environment online at skylarnetwork.com. And it's a little bit ground floor in terms of getting all the features and things, but it's also a great opportunity to work directly with the CEO and let him know the things that I need. And so I've designed my room to be visually experiential, like the Havasaw Falls at the base of the Grand Canyon. It's so beautiful. I have a niece who recently went there. She posted her pictures of being there, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful, right here in the US at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and I never knew it. And it was just so breathtaking, and I thought, I want that energy as my background in my group. So I have that established. And so there are great big soft ottomans for everyone to position themselves. So when they enter the group, their faces, my face will all be in this environment as we're working together. And they will be connected with peers who have actually been there, done that exactly like them, who get them far more than I ever could because it's more specific. And that's the mastermind part of it. And it's also part of the magical part of it, because I've titled it the Grow and Flow Magical Mastermind. And so that's part of the magic, is that they're going to be able to nurture and heal one another, learn from one another in ways that I could never provide, but I can take advantage of that and put them all together. And I added extra flexibility so they can come and go as they please during the session time. They don't have to be on camera if they don't want to. And it is whatever their needs, I'm open to fulfill them as the program goes. It's only for 90 days because it's going to take at least that long. And actually, it would take much longer for complete permanent healing. But that 90 days is going to set them off on a trajectory that's going to be such a higher vibration and a happier, joyful, easeful life than they were when they started, for sure. I have 100% confidence in that.
Good. Very, very good. Thank you.
Wonderful. Jackie, do you want to go ahead?
So it's tell me the name of it again. Skylar Magic. What is it? Skylar
It's
Network?
SkylarNetwork.com is the platform. It's a new business platform. It's wonderful. I love it. And the business aspect of it is you own your community. You make the rules of your community. They don't tell you what the rules are within your community. And and like I said, it's still kind of starting up. So they're still working very closely with its members right now. But I just love being there. I call it my home office. And so, yeah, it's just wonderful. You have all this freedom to set up your area as whatever you want. And it includes everything, the emails, the CRMs, all those things. You can record your meetings in there. It's just a fabulous place to have my office.
Can you spell out the Skylar?
Yeah.
How it's spelled?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. So
Very good.
Then,
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. So you see, I'm one of these people that like to get all the pieces together in a line so that I can know where to put them together with the pieces that I have up here. So you have
no
a
problem.
platform, you have groups that are creating their own little entities within this platform, which is beautiful.
Yes, all
And
kinds of businesses in there. Yes,
so it's not just
absolutely.
wellness.
No, there are marketing, branding professionals
Okay.
in there. There are other coaches in there. There are Medicare insurance professionals, all kinds. A lot of hospitals, organizations are connecting in there as well. It's going to be very, very big. It's still in a growing stage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click over there because I can actually post in an invite link. And that way you can actually get in there and see what it is as a guest. Let me see.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
that'd be good.
It would be good. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great because all
Jackie,
of
did you?
yeah,
Did
there's
you-
that was the question
Was that
mainly,
the
and
question?
just so that I know who you need. So my question to you, which typically comes at the end of this whole thing, is that who is it that you would need to be put on your path?
Oh, well, professional healthcare workers or healthcare professionals are kind of the umbrella. But right now, I'm more intensely focused on nurses, nurse practitioners, physicians' assistants. I have a lot of experience working with them from my therapy days and into my coaching time as well. And so I'm starting with them because I believe they are the front line warriors. And in this burnout syndrome epidemic, we really truly need them out there. So many of them are leaving their careers And I kind of monitor nurses on TikTok because so many of them I have found are kind of releasing all of this energy out on TikTok. And I see them talk about how they want to quit, how they want to leave. And so many of them are saying, gosh, I'd rather work in the garden center at Lowe's watering flowers than go back to work. I mean, that's how much they're suffering. But because their nature is to give, right? They're helpers and they want to give. And that's why they're so drained, especially nowadays, because they're just givers and givers and givers to everyone but themselves. So this is this is sort of my triage observation, the ones that need to be seen first, because I also know that even the medical lab technicians are going through the same thing. We don't think about it, but the first thing they do is draw blood, and the doctor needs that information from our lab work. And without that, they can't do anything really, not accurately. And so these are very, very important frontline healthcare professionals that I want to kind of, like I said, triage, first line warriors. But I want to continue. I want to continue connecting with special needs parents because, and caregivers, they all have the same struggles. And I know I can bring them through the same successful journeys. But I'm only one person. I can only do so much. And I have to be careful of my energy and what I invest in because of my disability. So that's kind of how I am right now. I have to be careful. And I've learned over the years that I need to go slow. And so that's what I'm doing, going slow. And I have no problem with that. Slow and steady wins the race. So I'm very, very pleased. I'm very, very confident in the program I have specifically designed for this mission, which I consider my soul mission. And I truly believe that the ones that are ready to work with me will find me.
You know what, Christine, it's really important to always think about self-care. Self-care equals to self-love, because in as much as we try, because sometimes we too, do get burned out trying to service others, and we kind of like take a backstage or back burner for ourselves. But I just love the fact that you are proactive in thinking about your own wellness and well-being, which is crucial, because when you're not here, who's going to take your place, right? We want to make sure that we're honing in on our own self and building our own survival while we are out there helping others. I'm still waiting for your information to pop up,
Yes,
because
I just got it. Sorry, it took me a while to get there and find it.
yeah,
There we go.
thank you. One thing I want to say is this: we had last time one of our guests, which talked about trauma, because I do have a program called Circle of Healing. And we are developing it. It's called Circle of Healing for Life, which is where we come together, those that have gone through all sorts of trauma, whatever it is, and just kind of talk it out. And you can see people are really looking for help, and sometimes they don't want to do it on camera. They want to do it outside camera, which is okay, because healing first, in private
Yeah.
area is important.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you. And that is something that is the other magical part of my magical mastermind, because healing is definitely the first line of action that I take my clients through, and it's visibly like we what we use is called I call it a video feedback method, where we use video taken pictures of the face in certain positions, and it's kind of a facial analysis, because when we suppress our emotions, which are literally energy in motion. Those are our emotions. There are reasons why humans are designed to experience emotions, just why we're designed to experience tears and any other kind of flow of energy from our system. So this is really in the natural flow of our design. And when we suppress these emotions, as especially males are conditioned to do by society, by family traditions, social pressures, they're taught not to cry. And I ran across this a lot in my work in therapy. And so they have to understand what the tearing is all about. And all of us, because over time, energy becomes matter. When it settles in the body, this is where, and Barbara probably will relate to this, where a lot of the gut problems will occur because of suppressed emotional energy. A lot of diseases occur because of that suppressed emotional energy. And therefore, a lot of healing will occur with the release of those energies. But we need that self-awareness. It all begins with that awareness and being consciously aware of what's going on and what choices we are making in real time, because the subconscious is in control 95% of the time, 95% of our day. We all know what it's like to drive down the highway and then not remember what that last 5 miles was like until all of a sudden maybe we see some brake lights flash in front of us and we're back again and we're like, oh my gosh, thank God I didn't run off the road or a truck didn't hit me or something. What happened? Well, the subconscious knows how to drive, knows where we're going. That's why a lot of times we go to work. Well, we don't mean to go to work. We meant to go shopping, but we went to the office and here we are. Well, that's the subconscious, and that's how much control it has. So it's very important to collaborate with our own subconscious in order to make the healthy changes that we need in our lives, because the subconscious is simply going to keep us alive so we can survive, but we're not going to thrive. And that is a big difference. And we need to learn that the possibility is there to thrive with joyful ease. And we all deserve that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well said, Christine. I'm going to invite Maria to ask her question and ask Maria to keep it as short as possible so we can round up after this. But I think it's important that we round up on a good note. And I must admit, Jackie was right earlier at the start of the episode. Our guests today couldn't have been more aligned, right? Wow.
We do
I
need
mean,
her contact information, though. What she gave us is a website that asks us to come and Zoom. So please,
absolutely, yes.
Christine, please
Oh,
put your own
yes,
contact
yes. Let
information.
me pull that up also.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Maria, you may go ahead and
Yeah.
ask your question in the
So
meantime.
my question is it essential for healing to be able to cry? This is something I've struggled with for a long time. And I just wonder, can one actually get through the loss of a child through and not get to that point of crying? Because, you know, there are layers and layers and layers, but that's been very hard for me to find that. And yet I feel okay. And I just wondered, maybe Brenda also, but I just wondered if, and there may be others out there who have similar things on their minds, is how important are tears? That's my question.
Well, tears are very important. And in fact, I posted on my various places about how we have 3 different kinds of tears. So we have one type of tear that is designed just to moisturize our eyeballs, right? So they're not all dry and stuck all the time. And that is a natural human function for wellness. We have another type of tear that is a protective tear, which is the kind that shows up when we chop onions or there's some kind of toxic exposure to the eye area, and then the tear will cleanse. And then the tears that are connected with emotions, that again is it's energy in motion, and the body does not judge, right? We cry at weddings, we cry at funerals. There's no judgment there. What it is overwhelm. It's too much for the system. It's overload, and the system knows to release that energy. Really no different than going to the bathroom, right? There's things that the body knows we don't need, and it needs to be released. And if we hold that in, well, think about it. We don't even think about holding in the other things or even sweat, but tears we do for some unknown reason. Who started that anyway, right? It's not anything that is natural. It's not the natural flow. So in a holistic wellness sense, yes, of course, it would be very, very important. But if you have difficulty, is your difficulty releasing or your difficulty not releasing? Are you holding them in, or are they just not showing up?
Just not showing up.
Just not showing up. If they're just not showing up, I wouldn't worry about it. Just
Mm.
allow your body. We have smart bodies, right? Our creator created these bodies, and they are smart bodies, right? We think we have smartphones. Well, we have smart bodies. And if your body is not providing or having those tears, and you're feeling like, well, they should, because you're connecting with this grief and loss experience, then release yourself of that judgment, because each person is very unique and different. We all experience grief and loss in our own unique way, just as unique as our DNA. I wouldn't worry about that so much, but if it does surface, I would allow it to flow. And you can ask your body, just give yourself a little quiet moment and say, what's up with this? How come I'm not crying? And then give yourself time to wait. Something will come up. The subconscious will provide some sort of answer why this is a protective experience you have.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
That meant a lot for me. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
you.
so
Thank you,
glad.
Meg. Yeah,
I'm
thank
so
you.
glad.
Can I add
Maria.
something to that? Am I allowed?
Just a short one, Brenda,
Yeah,
because we do need to
okay.
wrap up. Please
So
do.
Maria, as I agree so much with everything that Christine said, tears are just a way of release. And I think, and I'm not saying you don't feel, but when somebody feels really, really deeply and connects with that hurt or pain or whatever, that's one of the ways that that emotion, that frequency, that vibration is released. And I agree with Christine. If it doesn't happen, don't worry about it. It will either happen at some point or never happen, as long as you're feeling it. That's the main thing. Feeling is
Thank
where
you.
everything is, okay?
Thank you.
Yes.
That means a lot.
I 100% agree with Brenda. We are not taught to emote. We're not really taught what to do with our emotions except to push them back, or sometimes we're taught to release them out, lash out. But our main teachers are our parents during our formative years, right? 0 to 7. And that is where the subconscious gets its programming. It's taking all that information because we're designed to soak in and absorb as much as possible to survive. And that's why just about everyone has abandonment issues, right? Because we don't want rejection from our parents. And then we grow up into adults and we don't want rejection from anyone. It's too painful. And of course, in tribal times, it did mean life or death. If you were rejected by the tribe, well, you couldn't survive out there on your own. You would need your tribe to survive. So rejection is a very powerful experience that we will do almost anything to avoid. But if you have a block, right, there could be a block preventing the flow of energy. And this is where you look into similar things with acupuncture, acupressure, the energy meridians. There could be a blockage in there that could have occurred from prior to this particular experience of loss. So maybe that is something to explore for you.
Thank you. Thank you
Mhm.
so much, everybody.
Sure.
Really. Thank you.
Wonderful. Christine, thank you so much for joining us as our guest on episode 2 for today. It was wonderful having you and hearing what it is that you do and what your story is about. And thank you to our hosting team for today. I think we had a fantastic session today. And to all our people in the audience listening, tuning in and watching, thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe our YouTube channel detailed, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We also need contact information, Chris.
When we stand as one, there's no divide. Peace and love.